Well, good morning and happy Friday to everybody. How are we doing? How we doing? I figured I would go live this morning from my new future reading spot. Once we get everything established here, this is the goal. I can't promise it. I mean, you never know, but the goal is to be here, right here. I like this. So I figured I would go ahead and chat this morning from right here in my new home studio, I guess, you know. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Happy Friday, too, by the way. So we have tested out the acoustics and stuff like that in this room, and I am safe to make noise in here while everybody's asleep, as long as that door is shut over there. Okay, let me go ahead and show y'all. Y'all want to see? This is my new shooting location. Oh. So this is the room that I'm in. We have a cat litter box over there for now. So this is like my upstairs, like living room / workout room / whatever. We didn't know what to do with this room. So Leah hung up all my tapestries on the wall, and we got this furniture. We got this little couch here, got a little love seat there, and we just so happened to put this couch right in front of this forest tapestry. Y'all might remember my forest tapestry. Right now, like I said, I'm over there for right now. That's where I'm set up for right now. And I dig it. I like it. But this would be the spot. If I could pick a spot. This is the spot that I want to read right here. Because this is my preferred setup. Now, eventually, I keep saying I'm going to do this and I keep putting it off. But eventually, I'm going to get a webcam. And I do everything on my phone, dude. This is my phone. And eventually, I am going to have a webcam and a laptop that I run everything on. And I've been saying that for a year now, and I keep putting it off. I don't know. I keep putting it off. But yeah, I guess this is the official studio. Downstairs is just like the office. We could not figure out what the hell to do with this room, so we started putting workout equipment in it. It still just kind of seemed a little bit empty, so this is the film room. This is the new, I guess, YouTube room. Anyway, though, just wanted to do a little test chat today from here. How's everybody doing this morning? I'm still on my shang-a-lang-a bing bang. Yesterday marked my last day of the week for my training, so body's screaming at me. Ooh, it's hurting, but it's good because every time I step on the scale, it's going down and down and down and down and down. So, yeah, I dig the hardwood floors here too. I like it. Leah's a rug fanatic. She loves rugs. She's like obsessed with rugs. And I'm like, she said, babe, what do you think about this rug? And I'm like, the rugs are all you. I don't care about rugs. I like the hardwood floor. But anywho, y'all know me. I don't have anything to talk about right now. What y'all up to? Anything fun? We got anything interesting to talk about this morning? This is my alone time that I get every morning. Every morning I wake up, right around 5 something, 6 something, and I get my alone time. And I guess I schedule this time now for chats to talk to y'all. Anyway, though, what's up? Let's see what y'all are talking about. Hardwood floors, doing good. Need your caffeine? Yeah, I haven't. See, that's another thing that I've started. I think I might have told y'all about this, but excuse me. I'll start the day off with like a bang. It's like a 0 calorie. It's got some sodium in it though. It does got some sodium, but pretty much a 0-calorie drink that'll wake me up in the morning. And I don't really take any of my supplements until right around the time that I wake up Leah and the kids to start getting ready and all that good stuff. It brings my brain kind of up to a natural baseline. And then I'll take like my alpha brain, or sometimes I'll take like testosterone, you know, because I'm working out and stuff like that. And that, you know, so right now I'm right there with y'all, kind of. I got a little bit of caffeine in me, but I'm just now waking up. Just now waking up. I'm a morning person too. Always have been. And I've never met anybody else that is. People think I'm crazy because I love the early morning. I love it. I love getting to bed. See, last night I crashed out around 10. And I love waking up either right before or right as the sun's coming up. You know? Most people don't though. They're like, oh, I hate mornings. I'm like, why, dude? When I'm up in the early morning, it doesn't have to be before the sun comes up, but you know, right around that dawn time, I get this sense of the whole day is mine. You know, I've had the whole day. I haven't missed anything. I haven't missed any opportunities. I have taken advantage of the whole day. I just like it that way. I like it that way. So today, oh yeah, all signs. I'm doing all signs today. I forgot about that. I'm getting back into doing different things, different types of videos, you know, different styles of readings and stuff like that. And it's difficult sometimes to think of things to do. Doing what I do for a living, you know, it's hard to come up with, it's not hard, but it's a challenge to come up with new ideas and still try to keep it fresh and not do something that everybody else is doing, you know? Yeah, all signs, everybody else does that, but people love it, you know, people like it. They always get the most views, you know, people like that, you know, but if you haven't noticed, I've been experimenting with some different things that are hopefully, the goal here is to provide something a little bit different, change it up, break it up from what everybody else is doing, you know. Pick a card. I don't know what that is exactly. I've never watched a pick a card video, but everybody does it. I've seen everybody do that. Everybody. And like I said, I don't even know what it's all about. I haven't even looked at one. I'm kind of like that, where if I see somebody doing the same thing, it's gonna turn me off. It's gonna turn me off, you know? So it's really hard though. Sometimes I know that I'm not complaining, but it is sometimes kind of confining, like with what I do. And I guess that's with anything, man, really, you know? I mean, with anything, whenever you base your livelihood around something, you know, like what I do, I read tarot cards. I'm not the only person that reads tarot cards. There's several of us. There's many of us that do this. But after a while, sometimes I feel kind of confined in a box. Like, what else can I do? What can I do that's different? What can I do that's unlike anything that anybody else does, you know? And that's one of the reasons why I went ahead and started molding manifestation into it, okay? I started molding that because I got kind of quiet after a while. Once I really started on my manifestation path and started, you know, the process of attracting things into my life. Because I used to be real big on it. Back before anybody knew who I was, you know, that was my primary foundation. Law of attraction, manifestation, all that stuff, obviously, is my primary foundation. Tarot comes like secondary, or if not even third. That came way later. But I got quiet about it. It got to the point where it was like, okay, you know, enough people have argued with me, enough people have tried to tell me what they think and this and that. And I've already proven, like, I already got it in my hands right here. Look, hey, it works. I'm living proof. If you don't believe me, that's your problem. You don't have to. Go ahead, whatever. But then I'm like, well, what can I bring to the tarot community that is different? How can I stand out? How can I, other than being a dude, you know what I mean, a straight guy, that's kind of makes me a little bit different, wouldn't you say? You know, I have these things. Yes, I'm a man. Yes, I'm a straight man. Yes, I have this Southern accent. Okay, so I look different. But what can I do that's different? How can I provide a different service? You know, how can I actually bring something to the table that no other reader out there is bringing to the table? So that's when I started doing that. But even at that, when it really comes down to it at the end of the day, the operation of this matrix in relation to how we were misled, you know, because there's a very specific way that this matrix and this dimension and this reality operates. And we were programmed so far away from that, against it. You know, we were programmed to basically chase our tails, you know. It's so simple. It's so simple. I mean, the only way that we can really, those of us who teach this, the only way that we can really expand is to try to figure out different ways of getting you to get your old belief systems out of the way. That's really all it is. Once you get your old belief systems out of the way, you have to be willing, and I say willing because it's not easy. It's just like forming any new habit. It's uncomfortable. But once you're willing to say, okay, I am willing to take what I thought I knew and chuck it aside and wipe this thing a clean slate. Once you're willing to do that, it's simple. It's so simple. It's really not that deep. You know, it's deep, but the deepest part of it is the mind-blowing, whoa, I thought it worked this way. No, it don't. It works this way. Well, I was always told to do this. No, you don't do that. It hasn't worked yet. It's never going to work. Do this. Excuse me. My throat's all froggy. Throat's all froggy this morning. Anyway, though, you see what I'm saying? I don't think I had a solid landing point with all that, but basically I was talking about how, yeah, I can feel a little bit confining sometimes because I'm always kind of racking my brain to how can I do something different here in this vast spiritual community, this vast tarot card reading community, you know, how can I do that? So that's what I've been really up here doing more than anything, is thinking, what can I do different? Different, but interesting, you know? That's a fine line you walk. Okay, well, everybody's used to seeing you do this thing. If you change it up, people might get pissed and stop watching you, you know? So how can I mold, slowly, gradually, keep your attention and transition into something a little bit different so that before you notice, like, oh man, I look back at you 6 months ago and you're totally different now, but I didn't realize it until I look back, you know? Make any sense? I don't know. That's just some of the things that I think about on a daily basis. Some of the things that I think about, you know, because in my personal opinion, I've said this before and I stand by this. It's not all about me. It's not, okay? Do I benefit from what I do for a living? Absolutely. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, it is about helping. It's about actually providing something of use, you know, to me. And if I'm not providing anything that's going to help you, in my opinion, I'm not doing much. I'm not doing much, you know? Not doing much. I look at a lot of people out there who, they're very talkative. They have a lot of things, they have a lot of noise to make, but they don't really have a very intricate message, you know? And that's always been one of my big pet peeves. I don't know if it's the Aquarius nature in me or the Virgo or maybe just me, period. But I'm really big on, that's why sometimes it's kind of uncomfortable for me to get on here and chat, because it's like I don't have anything to say yet, you know, but I always make it a point to stir up something to say, because I'm really big on, if you don't have anything to say, don't say anything. There's too many people out there who talk because they just have to say something, you know? And I don't want to be one of those. I just don't, so anyway. Anywho, I, for one, like to see me in costumes. What? Costumes? I don't know about all that. Don't know about all that, but have a lot of great information. Cool. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yes, I still have the cacti. They're all outside now. I have like 2 indoor plants now. And here's the funny thing about that. Here's the funny thing about the cacti. See, I learned, one of the many things that I've learned over the past several years is when something lights your fire, follow it. Follow it. You'll find out later. Don't try to explain why. Don't try to think of an excuse or a reason. When something lights your fire, follow it. So last year, I'll just go ahead and tell the short version of the story. Last year, when me and Leah got our first apartment in Bullhead City, Arizona, it's like, let's get some house plants or let's decorate this place, Like, let's get a cactus, And I got a couple of little cactuses and trying to identify, well, I'd kind of like to know a little bit more about this plant, It was a little baby plant. What's it going to grow into? How to take care of it, this and that. As I'm researching it, I'm starting to see that cactus plants, it's a pretty fascinating, wow, this is some very fascinating plant life. This isn't your average plant life. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They're very, not your average plant life. They're very, very amazing. Long story short, I obviously became very obsessed and just go out and buy all the different ones. And I didn't know why, didn't really care. Come to find out though, and a lot of different, like spiritual shamans and whatnot, have a little cactus plant. I'm like, that's so cool. I like that, And they say, yeah, cacti absorb negative energy. I'm like, what? Yeah. Like there's some people who will buy a cactus and like put it behind their computer, and all the negative, nasty energy that, the radioactive radiation and all that shit, the cactus will absorb all that. I'm like, are you kidding me? Seriously? Because I got them all over the place now. I wish I could, probably couldn't show you from here, but I have them in my front yard. I got a couple of purple prickly pears, a couple of golden barrels. I have started where I propagated 2 just regular desert prickly pears from Arizona. And I got them all in the backyard. I got a big old collection. You know what I'm saying? So they're kind of surrounding my house. And I'm like, you mean without even knowing it, without even really thinking about it, I surrounded my house with these plants that very specifically absorb negative energy. Like, whoa, cool, neato. That's why I had that calling. Kind of funny, kind of interesting, but I found that kind of fascinating. I was like, cool, sweet, right on. I'm not gonna argue. So yeah, I gave it a break. Because poor Leah has been driving her nuts, I'll be like, look at this one here, this one's so cool, blah, 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 blah. And she's just like, babe, they all look the same to me. And I'm like, I know. So I haven't bought one in a month or 2. But I told her the other day, I was like, yep, my cactus hands are getting a little itchy. It's about time for me to buy a new one, And I got another one in mind, down there at the nursery. I'll stop in there every now and then. Star Nursery down there in Henderson. And yeah, that's my nursery. Anyway, though. Oh, my haircut. Did y'all hear the story behind this? I put a video on Instagram about the story behind my haircut. I've been having Leah cut my hair, and she does really good at fading. She can fade it. I like the fade. And the other day, she was cutting my hair. And she said, okay, I'm done. And she started taking the guards, or I took the guard off, and I was gonna put it all back together. And I got up and I looked in the mirror and I said, can you go a little bit higher? Because she went up to about here, and I like it up to about here. And I took the guard off and forgot about it. And I don't think I told her that I took the guard off. And these clippers that I bought, the little bzz things, they're not silver, they're all black. They're all black. The blades are black, the whole clipper set is black, and the guards are black. So you couldn't really tell unless you pick it up and look whether or not the guard's on it, because they're all solid black, even the blades. And I sat down with the guard off, and she bzzz, and then went boom, and then buzzed a big bald spot right in the side of my head. Right in the side of my head. Bzzz. And she goes, oh my God. I said, did you really? She goes, what happened? I said, I took the guard off. You didn't see me take the guard off? She said, no. I said, all right, well, you're gonna have to buzz me then? I said, you're gonna have to buzz me, ain't you? And I was like, where is it at? You know, I was like, no, you know what? Just buzz the sides. Just buzz the sides and I'll keep the top, you know? This is the way, whenever I grow my hair long, remember y'all, those of you who have been following me since my first tarot reading days, I had this same haircut, only this top right here was real long. It was real long, hung down to about here, right? And I would pull it back in a man bun. It was like, I've had this haircut before. I've always worn this same hairstyle. It's just that the top was always really long, you know? So, yeah, that's how when I very first started. I had the big old long ass little top knot man bun. I would pull it up, you know, and I ended up cutting it because, dude, it was just get so greasy, man. It was so fucking gross. I would wash my hair at night, and then the next day by noon, it looked like I just took a fucking bucket of fried chicken and rubbed it all over my head or something. It'd just be so greasy and nasty. I finally just fuck it, just cut it off. You know, it looks better on me anyway, honestly. I like long hair. I do. I love the way it feels. I like it. But it doesn't look good on me. It honestly doesn't. It kind of broke my heart to admit that, because I've always liked long hair. I've always liked wearing it, and you know, but it just doesn't look as good on me. So I figured, oh well. Oh well. Oh, 109 degrees, yeah. I think today here in Vegas it's supposed to be like 111 maybe. Thoughts on consciousness. That'd be a very, very long thing to talk about. Thoughts on consciousness. Consciousness is all I've been studying ever since I was in my early 20s. It's not just some thoughts. If I started talking about that, we'd be talking for like 2 hours. So the style that I have, I'm planting little seeds. I plant seeds in your mind that slowly over time grow into knowledge of consciousness. That's the approach that I take. I don't want to start like digging these real deep wormholes, you know, like you see a lot of people do that, start digging these real deep wormholes, and then here's the masses just like, what are you talking about? You know, I hate that. I hate it how people do that. It bothers me, because it's like, we could reach so many more people. Obviously not everybody. Not everybody came here to awaken. Not everybody came here to be enlightened. There's a lot of entities that came here to Earth specifically to get lost in the 3D human games, because they like playing the human game. And if that's the game they want to play, let them play it. But those of us who have that thirst for knowledge, that thirst for the truth, that thirst for something more, I don't agree with the approach that a lot of people who have an audience, I don't agree with their approach. You know, it works if you already know, if you've already been on the path for a long time. But what about those people first stepping off onto the path? You know, those people brand new on the spiritual path, on the spiritual journey. I've seen people who are so misled because they didn't take the proper steps. Now they think they're so awakened and enlightened, and it's just like, dude, get out of your head. Start here, you know? And then all I gotta do is take you back to one of your belief systems that's in your way, and you're fighting me. You're fighting me, and you're fighting against it. And it's like, oh, okay, well, you didn't take the proper approach. I believe that if we reach enough people and link up in a way you can understand, and then slowly guide you, okay, now this way, now this way, now this way, and then eventually you can spread your own wings and fly. That's the approach that I take. I've had some chats on here where I don't really dig, but I take you to a wormhole and show you. I explain a couple of things, and I saw the comments flying up, whoa, I don't get it. That's why I don't go there. That's why I don't go there all the way. Now we will eventually, But it's to the point that by the time you get there and you understand those massive, complex ideas of different dimensions and alternate timelines and reality blinking into and in and out of existence, and all these things that are difficult to wrap the mind around. Once you get there, you don't need me. You don't need guidance at that point. You know, you don't need guidance at that point. It's guidance. I'm here to guide you. Like I said, it's not all about me. It's not all about me. It's not all about me. I'm holding a light. I can guide you, but eventually my goal is for you to say, I got it. Thank you. Cool, right on. Best of luck to you on your journey, That's my goal. I'm not like some of these people or businesses or establishments that intentionally keep you coming back. No, that's not what I'm here for. I care to see the planet awaken, and yeah, we'll get there. We're getting there very fast. Anyway, though, don't really have a whole lot left to say on that subject. I don't have a way to keep an eye on the time in here, but I started around 6:40. Okay, so, all right. There's 7:40. Was it 6:40 or 7:40? 6:40. Yeah. Anyway, though, can't promise a big long hour chat this morning, but mainly wanted to sit here in my new little spot. We don't have a coffee table here yet. I have the vision. I see it. It's very nice looking. Anyway. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, it's very comfy. Very comfy. These are old, and I'm gonna tell you what, man. The couple that we bought this stuff from was so fascinating. You ever meet like people and you just immediately step into their life? Just kind of like start living vicariously through them and their memories. And man, they were so fascinating. It was this old couple, and I think they were Mexican. I think. The guy looked kind of Asian. He was an old guy, and he didn't know any English. But I could, when he was talking, like his wife had to translate for him, and I could hear a lot of Spanish words in there. So I'm not really sure where they're from, but they weren't American. But the woman, his wife, knew English, and he didn't. And they had this little house out, I want to say North Las Vegas, somewhere. I don't know. It was way up there. And they were just so fascinating, man. I would just sit and watch them like, whoa, what is, I don't know how to explain it, dude. I don't know how to explain it. Just utter fascination, like, and there was a very interesting energy that we brought home with their furniture, And from what I gathered, I think something because of the lockdowns or whatever, they didn't really seem like the working age. They looked like they were in their maybe early 60s. Maybe they were working, I don't know, but they were moving for some reason, moving into their daughter's house, like something like that. And they had to move out and get rid of all their stuff. And they had all this stuff right here, this couch, that love seat, a glass coffee table, a glass end table, like one of those comfy chairs, and a lamp for $100. And we rented a truck from Home Depot, a box truck. I went and rented a box truck, and we went and picked it up. And it was just, I don't know, it's so interesting and fascinating. I don't really know any other way to describe that. Do you all know what I'm talking about? Do you ever, like, just run across a person or something like that, and all of a sudden they catch your attention, you don't know why? And it's just like, dude, you start like putting yourself in their place and seeing their memories and putting yourself in their life, and like, you ever do that? I've always done that. I've always done that. Not to everybody though. It's only like select people. Like I'll be sitting at a stoplight. And just see some random person walking across the street, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa. And I'm like, I know you. And it's weird, you know what I mean? But you just get this feeling like, I know you. Like I've it just makes you feel kind of crazy. It just like you recognize them from somewhere. But I mean, I've done this in cities that I've never been. You know, I don't know any of these people, but it's just like I know you, and I remember something from somewhere or something like that. You know, it's crazy. It's weird. Well, that's what these people were like when we showed up at their house. So anyway, really old furniture. Leah hired a company to come in and like deep clean all this stuff because it was really old and it was a little bit stinky, you know. Um, so yeah, we got it all cleaned, deep cleaned, and all that stuff. Where this mobile company came up with, and they brought all these hoses up here and put all these chemicals all over it and cleaned it, you know. But anyway, I didn't really have a solid point with that. Just yes, very, very comfy. I want to get a couch cover though. We want to get like a blanket. I want to get like some kind of really cool, I don't know, maybe something to match the forest image here. You know, something that can kind of match and flow along with this. I don't know. It's so weird though, because here I am in the desert. Here I am, like in real life, I'm sitting in the desert, but it looks like I'm in the forest. There's my desert over there though. If I ever wanted the desert. We didn't plan any of this out. These tapestries were just hanging up here. She did this when we first moved in here, and this room just sat empty for months, you know, with us doing nothing with it. We never come up to this end of the house. So it's really cool to be able to finally put this room to use for something, you know. And also, we've had a lot of discussions about what we're going to do with this room. Like I said, we've been talking about maybe me buying a guitar. And this could be like a music room. If I ever decide to do that and go down that path, I could get a guitar and this could be a music room. I don't know. I got a few more things to set up here though. But yeah, little hangout room. A little hangout room up here in the front corner of my house. Right above my garage. My garage is right under me, so. Anyway. Yeah, music is a great healer for those who hear it, but not for those who make it. Well, maybe for some people who make it. Not for me, though. Not for me. Not for me. I always have to pull my vibration into a really shitty place in order to think of something good to write, you know? I just don't like it. Don't like it. I might, though. Again, no promises. No promises. I always have some kind of idea for a song in my head, you know. Always have some kind of idea in my head, but I don't know. The thought of it again. Every time I get to talking about it, it sounds cool for a few seconds, and then it's just like, yeah, but I don't know. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't resonate with my soul. It doesn't sound like something that I want to do, you know. I mean, I could easily right now. Well, I don't know, it's kind of early, so maybe not like literally right now, but today, if I wanted to, I could go out and buy me whatever I wanted, a guitar, and like I have like now that I have money, I could really afford the kind of guitar I've always wanted my whole life, my dream guitar. I could go out to the store and buy it right now, but it's just like, I don't want to buy things just to have them. I don't want to buy something like a guitar unless I'm really, really, really wanting to put something into it. And right now, honestly, in my soul, in here, I can't find that passion and drive to really drive me to say, yes, I want to do this. Yes, I'm going to start working on this. Yes, I want to write this song. Yes, I really want to, I can't feel that in here. So until I feel that fire, until I feel the fire, I'm not going to do it. Maybe one day, but not right now. Anyway, though. Learning piano, right on. Right on. No, not passionate. Not about music. Not about music. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. I don't know. Maybe, I'll bring it up to Leah again and we'll talk about it today. She's all for it. You know, she has nothing against it. And I don't know. It's just like every time I get to talking about it, I'm just like, I don't want to. I don't want to do it, you know. I don't know. I'll think about it. Like I said, it would be very interesting. I can very easily envision how easy it would be to start a new project. You know, start another YouTube channel or start something on Facebook or start some kind of project with music. I could see if I had that fire, you know, I could very easily do something that would be pretty fucking successful. Depending on how you define success, I'm not looking to make $1 million making music, but I could definitely do something that would be a fun project and it wouldn't just be a dead end. You know, you see a lot of people out there trying to beat a dead horse. But I just got to find that passion, that fire, you know what I mean? Know what I mean? Anyway though, might get off here in a couple of minutes. Musical trait readings? I don't know what that is, but I don't know how I can mix music into my tarot. I mean, I don't know. And then when it comes to, you know, copyright and all this stuff, I don't even know what the rules and regulations are on that anymore, you know. Back when I very first started putting up YouTube videos when I was really young, you know, I've had several YouTube channels. I think a lot of you know this. A lot of you have seen some of the old videos that I have floating around on the internet. But back in the day when I very first started playing with YouTube, I was a young little pup, man. Buck wild too, fucking fucked up all the time on drugs and shit. But back then, it was strict, dude. Oh, it was strict. Oh man, it was so super strict. I remember the first time I ever applied to be a partner. You know, of course I didn't make it, but the application process was this big, long, like pages and pages long, this big contract you had to read and all this stuff. And then the last time, now I'm a partner, it wasn't all that. It was just like, what's your channel name? It was just like a list of questions, you know, about my information. It said, okay, we'll review you for a month. And that was it. That wasn't a long, drawn out process. It didn't really ask me for very much information. Not really. You know, it was just boom, 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 fell together. And I'm just like, damn, a lot's changed in 10 years or however long ago it was, you know? So that's another thing, you know, but oh well. I guess I could just, if I decided to put a song up on YouTube, I would just like not monetize the video maybe. But they pretty much go through and decide what they do and don't want to monetize. The only things in mine that get demonetized are when I review. Like when I do reviews for Alpha Brain, my Alpha Brain reviews, they demonetize those. I guess the way they look at it is, well, you're already making money off this video, so you don't need no more. It's like, oh, well, thank you. Okay. Yep, no problem. Gotcha. And I should probably do a new review on that. I still make sales off of those videos, of those review videos. And on it, use me for an ad too, on Facebook. Use me for an ad. And which I thought was cool because, you know, usually when you see on its ads, especially on Facebook, you see people like Joe Rogan and, you know, all those other guys. Gary, how do you say his last name? Vaynerchuk or whatever. He's done them. You see these like pro athletes or whatever. And then they used me one time because the dude hit me up. He said, hey, do you care if I use clips of your video for advertising purposes? I said, yeah, sure, I don't care. And then I forgot about it. About a week later, I'm flipping through Facebook and I see me on it, use me in their ad. And I'm like, oh, whoa, it's not Joe Rogan this time, it's me, you know? So I thought that was cool, but yeah, I still make sales on that, but it's nothing, you know what I'm saying? I make pennies, pocket change, not pennies. I mean, I don't really know if I'm allowed to discuss how much I make, so I'm not gonna say anything, but it's not much, y'all. It really ain't that much. It's not much. I don't do it for the money. I do it because like, this is some shit that I use. Like on a day, I'm just telling you the truth. I'm being all the way real. You know, I take Alpha Brain every single day. I may give myself a couple of days on the weekend, like a break from it, but it's true. I'm not doing it. Like so many people like got mad. They're like, oh, he's all in it for the money now, you know? Like people who obviously have no idea how YouTube works. It's like, dude, off of YouTube and personal readings alone, the money I make is insane, like insane. You think I need this little pocket change they're paying me to promote this stuff, you know? I don't need that money. It says, no, you know? I was just like, seriously, if I promote a product, if I ever step out into the public and promote a product, it's not for money. It's not for money. I promise you that. It's for me. For me, like this is what I do. I take this stuff, I could take you downstairs right now and show you. It's in my cabinet. I never go without Alpha Brain, dude, you know? So anyway, though, it was cool to see them use me in an ad though. Oh, and I got to thinking too. This is a thought that while I'm on that subject, because on it, they are very like into the workout and into fitness and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, I'm into that now. I wasn't at the time, but I am now. So that would be super, super cool. Super cool for me to like think that, okay, well, maybe one of these days I could branch out into that a little bit further. Maybe. I don't really know, but I don't know. See, ideas like that are just kind of like, I like to keep them up there in the astral realm and then just say, let's see if that door opens one day, you know? Oh, here's an idea floating around over here. I'm not going to tell all my ideas, but let's see if that doorway opens one day, you know? It's pretty cool. Boom, 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 boom. Nothing like financial freedom. Yeah. I tell you what, though. Because I think back a lot to when I lived under a bridge. I think a lot back. And it doesn't, you know, when you don't have anything, you feel like when you get this thing, it's going to be like, yeah, but it's not. That's not what getting on the frequency feels like. You know, that's what I explain to people so much, is that getting on the frequency of something, anything, I don't care what it is, I don't care if it's money or that perfect relationship, take the frequency of something you're already on right now. Do you own a car? This is the example that I always give. This is the example that was given to me in my master's school. Do you own a car? What does it feel like to own that car? I mean, it's in the driveway. Do you think about it all day, every day? No, not unless I have to go to the store or something. You know what I mean? So that's anything. If you want to get on the frequency of it, it's not going to feel any different than your car sitting in the driveway. Take anything that you're, now again, that's an example because that is an A-type manifest. I believe it's A-type. I refer to it as A-type manifestation. Like Bob Proctor talks about this. A-type goals and B-type goals. Now I forget which is which, but I went ahead and say A-type goals are like your car. Something that most anybody around you can help you with. Most anybody around you can explain. And before most of us, you know, in your adulthood, you've manifested this several times, okay? So this is something you can recreate very easily. B-type goals, though, B-type manifestations are those things you have never had. You have never had this thing. You have never experienced this thing, and probably nobody around you has ever experienced what this is you're wanting to achieve too. It's a very different type of thing. But we do use those like A-type because it is kind of all the same thing. Frequency is frequency, okay? So when I'm explaining the frequency of something that simple, see what I'm saying? You just kind of got to take it for, yes, to be on the frequency of something, this is what it feels like. Okay, so how do I, with nothing, put myself on the frequency of having it? How do I put myself on that frequency in here? How do I fall into that place of thinking about the $1 million, but I'm not thinking about having $1 million in the bank. Now I'm thinking about, I'm living my life as a millionaire. What kind of thing, what are the new things that I'm stressed about now? Because stress will come along with it. What are some of the types of different perspectives that I will have? You know, nothing new, not, whoa, no. This is nothing special. I've had this for a while. It's nothing new for me to just walk onto a car lot and say, okay, well, it's time to buy a new car. Here's cash, you know, bam. Nothing new. That's nothing special. I don't even think about it. What is it like to imagine that not only I have whatever it is that you want, I just use money as an example, the millions of dollars, but I've had it for a while. Just like I've had my car on the driveway for a while, and it's nothing special. How can I put myself there when it comes to this thing that I've never had before? And you maintain that. You maintain that in your meditative states. Like I say, theta waves help a lot. So you're not, when you're envisioning can be a very slippery slope, because do I need to sit and envision my car on the driveway? No. But what is my life like now? My life, not just my life involving my car. What is my life like? What are some things that have changed in my life that are no longer a big deal? You know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense at all? That's where you have to go in your mind. That's where you have to go in your mind. That's where you have to go in here. Because the minute you start feeling like, whoa, I need that thing, you're not on the frequency of it. You're on the frequency of the lack of it. That's what I explain with love, with almost probably 97 to 98% of the people who come to me for a personal reading get this broken down to them and explained. If you feel like, oh my God, I need somebody to love me, you're not on the frequency of true love. You're on the frequency of loneliness. And if you're on the frequency of loneliness, you're going to keep experiencing more loneliness. There's somebody on my Facebook that I'm not going to name, but I have been watching them silently. Oh, emotionally codependent as hell, man. And this person is just, you know how those people, everybody has this, at least one person on their Facebook who just fishes. You know, they're so lonely and so broken and so empty. And with everything that they post, everything that they put out is just fishing. Somebody come love me, you know? And I've explained to this person, this is how you get on the frequency of true love. I've explained it to them, you know? I've tried to help them, and they, oh yeah, that's awesome, you know, and this and that. And then they go right back to the boo-hoo, poor me, so lonely, I'm so done, and blah, 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 blah. And then they get into this relationship. And I'm like, oh man, I already see, you know, without going too in depth or too into detail. Like I said, I don't want to put anybody's personal business out there. I'm just saying there's this particular person that I've been watching. And it's just like, now I've kind of, you know, through social media as a witness, these two codependents come together and watching the interactions happen. It's just like, you know, the codependent. But I remember back when I thought that was normal, you know, we all thought that was normal because we've been programmed to believe that that's normal. I'm lonely, I need a lover because I'm lonely, right? Because I don't want to be around me. I remember thinking that that was normal. I remember being in that place. I remember how that felt, you know? And it's a bummer because unless you really want to know the truth, there is no way to explain to anybody. You're working against yourself. Same thing with somebody out there chasing money. I see people do this all the time, especially in the spiritual community. But you see people all the time. They start like an online business or a YouTube channel or something, and they go out and chase viewers. Come watch me, you know? I see people do it in the tarot community all the time, you know, posting all over Facebook. Come call me to book. Come call me to book your appointment and this and that. You know, they're chasing clients. They're chasing money. And whatever you chase is going to run from you. And you see, they never get any interaction. They never get, and it breaks my heart because I remember those days. I remember those days where I chased money and it ran from me. And I was chasing love and love ran from me. You know, I remember those days. So it puts you in this weird conundrum where it's like, I get where you're at. It would be so cool if you wanted to know the truth, but you have to want to know. You have to want it. You know, I can't go save anybody. You know, you have to want to know the truth. You have to be willing to say, okay, whatever it takes. And the hardest thing for us to do is ditch our identity. That's the hardest thing for us to do. That really is the key right there. To go from this to this, you have to be willing to throw your identity in the trash. You know? If you're not willing to do that, Probably nothing's going to happen. Even Dr. Joe Dispenza says, we all want to create a new personal reality as the same personality, and it doesn't work. You literally have to become someone else. And when he says literally, he means literally rewire the way your brain works with the power of your own thoughts. I'm not going to get into that wormhole right now, but let's just say that, yeah, you have to be willing to throw your old identity in the trash and build a new one. Identity is not bad. Ego is not bad. We just have to realize, okay, is this ego getting in the way? Are these ego mechanisms that I'm using right now helping me, or are they hurting me? Okay? It's all your old belief systems, your opinions, you know, your philosophies, your ideas. Am I willing to throw them away? Am I willing to? Because at the end of the day, that's what's getting in your way. That's what's getting in your way. It's your own beliefs and your own opinions and your own viewpoints of the world and your viewpoint of money and your viewpoint of love and your viewpoint of friendships and family and things like that. It's the way you've been trained to look at, perceive those things and the opinions that you have and the beliefs you have about them. That's what's holding you back. That's what's holding you back. That's the hardest thing for us to do. See what I'm saying? I can't do it for you. Nobody can do it for you. Bob Proctor can't do it for you. Jonathan Amaret can't do it for you. You know, all these great people who explain these things. You know, Napoleon Hill couldn't do it for you. None of these people can do it for you. You have to want to. You have to be so fucking tired of experiencing the same thing, trying it your way. It doesn't work. Keep trying it and trying it and trying it, and keep getting the same result over and over and over again. Something's got to change. And the hardest thing for us to change is our own mind, especially if you're a fixed sign like me. Especially, we fixed signs, it's tougher for us, isn't it? But if you actually put forth the energy and the effort to transmute your energy, you're going to come out 10 times stronger. But anyway, that's about enough babbling, I think, honestly. Probably going to go ahead and get out of here, y'all. Probably going to go ahead and get out of here. Again, I have a loose idea of what time it is. Here, I'm going to assume, let's see, 6:40. I probably have about 20 minutes. 20 minutes to go downstairs and do the dishes and make the coffee, and then I got to come upstairs and get Leah up and the kiddos and start making breakfast for the babies and all that good stuff. And yeah, anyway, though, got a pretty light day today. It's the weekend, finally. For me, this week went by kind of slow. Usually weeks go, choom, next week, choom, next week, choom. This one kind of went, and drug a little bit slower for some strange reason. I don't know if it's something going on in the sky or what, but it's finally Friday. I'm actually looking forward to the weekend. There's a bit of a change. We went through this period where we hated the weekends and we looked forward to the week. Now, maybe it's because I'm working out. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. I think that's probably what it is. That I'm getting to the point now where I'm looking forward to the weekends because I'm resting up. You know, I'm resting up and recuperating, and my screaming muscles are resting. That's probably what it is. I think that's probably what it is. Anyway, though, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I'll see y'all sometime later on my main channel. All right? Y'all have a good morning.